encourage the girls, because you are actually challenging this my webinar. You are challenging the girls. You are challenging the upcoming generation, because the Ocean Ambassadors Foundation is a bottom-top arrangement for the upcoming generation. I'm not doing the graduates, the postgraduates, because those ones, they are already defined. They formed what they want to be. But these children, they're still clueless. They're looking for opportunities. And you know, Nigeria is a maritime nation with so many career opportunities untapped. So we've now decided that let us start this. Let us get the upcoming generation, the secondary school students. Let them come on board.
Oh yeah, click here.
Let them know that there are careers. Hello, hello, sorry. Hello. Hello. So where do you see us? Where do you see us? Hello. Jide, there's so much noise at the background, please. Hello, Caroline. Hello.
I'm back. I want to add my volume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me better now?
We connect.
And that will push it. We're currently at the last one we have a lot of people that think that we will get more success on the not for 700. I already talked about the fact that because the similar trend now, the absolute upside for us could be 900.
Hello.
It's a bit low.
Hello. Hello.
Expanded the pool of resource.
Okay. Now connect my volume so that I can hear you properly.
Oh, okay. You couldn't hear me before.
I was hearing, but on a low voice.
Jide,
How are you?
Hello.
Okay. I'm now finally back. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, now I'm back. I'm okay now. I'm settled.
Hello.
Hello, I can now hear you well.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, now I hear you properly.
Okay. Okay. So like I was saying, it's a
Yes.
challenge seeing a young lady like you doing so many things at the same time in a male-dominated field. And you know, Nigeria is a maritime nation, and the blue economy is 2030. If you look at 2030 to 2021, it is this age bracket of students that will come on board, that will be able to practicalize the blue economy. Because as a maritime nation, there are vast opportunities. When you look at fisheries,
Yes.
when you look at environment, when you look at waste to wealth management, when you look at maritime transportation, when you even look at hospitality, so many vast opportunities. But how do we get the children involved at early ages? How do you get them engaged? How do you get them acquainted with the opportunities, both entrepreneurial and white collared? Because there are some at the sea base, there are some at the shore base. It's not everybody that will be a seafarer. It's not everybody that will be on board vessel, but we can have maritime lawyers. We have marine insurers. We have so many careers embedded in the maritime sector. And we have the service support department, like the chandling, the bunkers, you know. So today, it's my pleasure. I'm highly elated meeting you online, and since we met, you've always been a source of inspiration. So today, I am so happy that I'm presenting a young lady from Western Uganda, not even Nigeria, to talk to the students, the teachers, the parents, and school owners on this platform. So everybody, I present to you this morning Caroline Abenaitwe from Western Uganda. She's a marine mechanic, she's an open water diver, she's a rescuer, and she's an air firefighter. All this in one. She'll be talking to us about how she got into it, because her story actually is that of an inspiration. She said she's been an orphan from very early ages. If an orphan can strive to become something great like this, I think she's worth emulating. During my Facebook write-up, someone said, oh, you don't know the other side of Caroline. I met her as a hotel manager. I never saw her as a water engineer. I never saw her as a marine mechanic. That the person said, I am so impressed that she followed career. So today, students, I want to learn. My biro is here, my jotter is here. I want to know who a marine mechanic is. I want to know who a water diver. I want to see her, what I used to see on Facebook. I want to see her display everything online for us to know that there are careers there, for us to know that it is worth doing as a female. And she will tell us the challenges, the opportunities, and of course, the way forward, the courses we have to take, and everything all encompassing. So that with much ado, Caroline, please, we welcome you to this platform, all the way from Western Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Williams. I'm so grateful and so honored. I do welcome everyone who is here. I take the opportunity. Thank you so much of Ocean Ambassadors Foundation for looking at me and setting me ready to present to everyone and actually the world over, because I'm so sure there are so many other people who are viewing this beyond Nigeria and beyond Uganda. I'm so grateful and I'm so proud to be here in front of you sharing with. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you a lot. Like now, right now in Uganda, it's already afternoon because we are approaching 2. So I'm so grateful. Yes, we are 2 hours ahead of Nigeria.
Oh, you're 2 hours ahead of us.
Yes. But I'm so grateful in this afternoon to have a chance to share with everyone who is there viewing this live show. Quickly, I will go to start. I'm not going to waste your time because part of everything I want to share, some is on the slides and others I'll be sharing them verbally. I hope I'm allowed to share my slides.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, allow me. No, I was disabled. Please try to connect me to be able to share my screen.
Okay, you cannot share your slides.
Oh, okay, okay, you can. So I've added 2 slides of pictures. Okay. Right. Are you able to see?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Career talk, mentoring a girl child.
All right. Now, I got the introduction. Introduction. My name is called Abenaitwe Caroline, and I come from Bujaga, Ndeja, Rampala district. And I'm a daughter to late Lieutenant Falgayo Myers and late Margaret Mpumwire. Those 2 people, they're my parents, but unfortunate, I didn't grow up with them. My dad left me when I was 8 months in the war, and my mom left me when I was 5 years old. I grew up with my brother because I'm a 3rd born of 3. I grew up with my brother and my sister. After our mom passing away, our elder brother who was 12 years old, and me, I was 5, and my elder sister was 7. He decided to quit off school and take care of us 2 girls, which was not so easy because so many people were advising him to take over and leave girls. But fortunately enough, our brother could not do that because he loved us so much. And he felt like if he supports us, we would also support him in future. Looking at my background, I didn't want to write it all down there. That's why I didn't write it, and I'm sharing it verbally because it's a long story. So after losing our mother, because I lost my mom when I was joining primary 1, and my brother took over from my primary 1 up to the level I am on right now. So from there, I can go to the second slide. From there, that was the Bujaga Integrated Primary School, where I did my primary level, and I graduated with my PLA, Primary Living Examination certificate. And there later, our brother tried to look for money all around. It was in vain. But fortunately enough, being our dad was a soldier, he tried around to look for how can soldiers support us as kids of a past soldier. So it was lucky enough that some soldiers could recognize our dad, and then they supported us with secondary school education. So after my primary, I went to Mbara Ame Secondary School, where I attained my UCE, Uganda Certificate of Education, and my USCE, Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education. So from that help of my brother, I managed to attain all those two. But the unfortunate part was that through these levels, it was a struggle to finish. So after completing my UCE, me and my sister, it was so hard for us to continue for USCE together. So he decided to make one of us to branch and then one of us continue. So in our family meeting, as we sat of three, because we didn't have any supporter from relatives, uncles, aunts, and what, no one was willing to support us. So it was our pain to struggle. So he said, according to the results, we shall choose who has passed well, continue, and who has a bit fairly to also branch from the tertiary institution. So it wasn't easy because my sister also wanted to continue, but we tried to sit as girls and we are like, you know, so many people advising brother to stop us, to stop there where we are. So let's be humble and behave. So my sister came up with the conclusion that me, I continue, and then for her, she branches for primary teaching. So when she branched and me, I continued, it wasn't easy because tertiary institution payment was a bit higher and requirements. Our brother could not manage as a person and then take care of me too. So I went for my A level, that is senior 5 and senior 6 in Uganda's education. Senior 5 was a struggle, I could not complete well. So I was lucky enough that during my secondary of high school of senior 1 to senior 4, I had got connected and friends with teachers. I tried to inform one of them that, you know what, I'm unable to continue with education because my brother cannot support me. So these ladies sat together because there were two ladies from one from northern part of Uganda and another from also western, but a different culture. So these two ladies agreed that they should support me because they had liked my behavior and my character, the way I was presenting myself to them. So they accepted to support my brother and I go for USCE. When I completed my USCE, it was so hard for me because I had nowhere to go. I could not afford university. I could not afford any institution. So what I did was to beg for humble requests again from these two ladies. But the unfortunate part was these two ladies also had their kids who were approaching me. So they said they will support me if there is someone else supporting me, so they can do something small. So the struggle also began again, and I was like, it seems God created us to suffer. I have nowhere to go. Tears were rolling into my eyes because I had passed and I had nowhere to go. So what I could only do was to sit and I'm like, God, whatever I bring on my way is what I would do. So in that period, I tried to reach out to my brother and I was like, where can I go? Results are out and I passed, so what should I do? My brother was like, my dear sister, I have nothing to tell you. Be patient, or you sit or look for a job anywhere. If you get, we shall do it. With time, we shall get when your sister completes. So it was so hard for me because for me, I had passion for studying and passion for growing up And in my dream, personally, I wanted to be an engineer. And where did I get that dream? Being an engineer, when we are growing up at home, we had some rooms for rent. And then we had someone who was renting and was doing a motorcycle mechanics. So whenever he could be doing his work, me as a girl, little young girl, I could always feel like, I should be part of his work, support him, bring these tools, do this, always ask him questions. So I told my brother, I don't want to stop here. I want to be an engineer. And my brother was like, yo, I don't deny you being an engineer, but the unfortunate part is I can't support you, Carol. Please understand my situation. And I could also see what you are going through throughout the levels we passed. So what I decided to do is to remain in Kampala, capital city of Uganda, because that's where these ladies had brought me to study from. So when I remained there, I tried to connect here and there looking for jobs. But the unfortunate part was that wherever I could go, men sometimes would want to first have me and then give me what to do. And then I could always say, hello?
Hello, hello.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I said, no, this is not my future. I can't sell myself because of a job. I remember one day I applied to a supermarket. And when I applied to the supermarket, I requested for a job. After requesting for a job, these people gave me everything. And then they told me, Carol, you come and work. But the unfortunate day was a weekend. This man called me that day when we were picking from on Monday. And then he told me, Carol, I want to take you for outing. And then I was like, outing, is it mine alone as a person or as a group? Then the man was like, no, I want to go with you as a person. And then we shall go on Saturday and come back on Monday when you're picking your uniform. I said to him, to hell, I better die poor, but I'm not going to sell my life. And I remembered that the days whenever we could be leaving home, our brother could sit with us, guide us, advise us, yeah, girls, remember everyone is praying bad for you, looking at you as failures, and please, kindly I advise you, take care of yourself. So I used those advices from my brother and from other people who would give good advices, and I was like, no, I'm not going with this man, even if I want a job. But remember, I was looking for that job so that I can get school fees to go for university. So when that failed, I tried to reach out to my sister. My sister had got a chance, had got a primary where I was teaching, and that was in Rwanda. So she tried to connect me to go and teach mathematics because I was good at mathematics. And then I went, I taught there. And then after some time, I had to come back because I had to go and look for what to study because I wasn't meant to be a primary teacher. I had no qualifications for teaching. So when I came back to Kampala, I was like, what should I study? I looked at the situation, how my brother is. I told him, you know what, let me go and study what they call cosmetology. Cosmetology is a course meant for beautifying people. Take a beauty of a person, work on his or her hair. So I had opted to do that, not because it's what I wanted, but because I was looking for where can I get little money and then I support myself for my future. I had no one to cry to. So as I had applied like this, I'm sorry, you will forgive me when some noise come in because I'm at workplace, I'm near airport. So most of the times aircraft pass over. So now what I decided to do, after applying for cosmetology, because that's what I opted to do, so that after that I can be working on people's hair. As I get little money I save, then I can pay for myself university. So now what I did, I went and applied and I told my brother they have asked for only 300,000 Ugandan shilling. When I asked for that, my brother was willing to pay to look for those small monies and then pay it. It was much on his side, but to other people it is very small. Little money is in Uganda shilling. Doesn't even, it is almost $1. Yeah, $1 is equivalent to 360 Ugandan shillings. So it was even less than $1. So I tried that. As I was heading to school, one of my friends called me, is from that village, and he's like, Carol, oh, what are you going to study, or which university are you joining? I was like, you know what, you know my life, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to go to an institution and do cosmetology, that is hairdressing and massage and what, and then come back. So he was like, no, Carol, the car I know with your mathematics, I can't accept. Why do you want to go for that? Why don't you go to university? I just started crying because I could not manage what you are telling me, and I could not explain all that much. So what I did was to ask him, for you, what would you want me to study? So he was like, here where I'm studying from, we are having a fisheries management course, and we also have a course about building technology and marine mechanics. And in general, some students call it marine engineering, but they broke it into those two courses. So I said, really, if it is called engineering, because the moment I heard the word engineering, my dream came true. I was like, engineering, I'm coming for that one. So he was like, but it's a bit expensive. I said, now you hear. If it is expensive, it means that I cannot manage it. But he just told me, come and try your luck, you never know. So I went to this institution, and then I applied. When I applied, this institution is in another city called Entebbe. So when I applied, the unfortunate part is they gave me on a government scholarship because I had my results well, and they were able to give me. And being that I was the first girl to apply for that course, because even the academic register was not, so he was still even doubting if I will manage to do what? If I will manage to do the course. And I told them that I'm ready to do the course, because the course was involving a lot of work for men, and that is carpentry, that is welding, that is swimming. It was too hard for ladies, but too somehow easy for men. But I told them I will. And looking at the yeah, looking at Western Uganda, how they term us, they always see us as soft people who cannot manage hard life. So when I reached there, these teachers also saw that this girl cannot manage this. But in my heart, I was like, if God can give me a chance and they give me this course, I'll do it with one heart and I'll pass it. So Fisheries Training Institute allowed me and gave me a course, and that was my diploma in boat building technology. That is this one, diploma in boat building technology and marine mechanics. So when they gave me this course, I was like, oh my God, this is so great. I was so excited and so happy. And I was the first girl in the 20 years this institution had completed to do this course. So the excitement went beyond, and I tried to call my brother. When I informed my brother about what I had got, he could not believe, because he knew no one knew me and no one could give me a government. So he was like, Carol, stop lying. And now it seems you are becoming now like these other girls I hear about. Who can give you a government? In your situation, who knows you by the way? So it was so hard for him to believe that I'm telling him the truth. I had got a government scholarship. He said, Carol, from today, never you call on my phone, because it seems you've changed. You are not the girl I know. So it was so hard for me, because my family had decided to run away from me. And that is the only family I had. So after that, I said, even if that has happened, I will not lose hope. I decided to go to the other institute where I had paid the 300 for the other first course I wanted to do of cosmetology, to request back my money. And these people told me, once paid, not returnable. And remember, I had nothing like a book. This course I was going for is a technical course. It needed me to be with the toolbox. They wanted me to be with an overall. They wanted me to be with the life jacket because I was going to be on water. And I was like, no, where should I start? All the requirements were on me. I didn't have books. So I requested kind of this other institution where I had first gone. They refused it. Now I told them, if you cannot give me, first and foremost, I'm a total orphan. I don't have anyone I can run to. So if they are not willing to give me, please, you people, allow me to be a cleaner in this institution. Give me a cleaning job, I be cleaning. When I raise the man I want, I go to the institution and I study what I want. I try to show them what I had got. I told them I've got a government scholarship. You're chasing me from this. What do you want me to pay? So after like a couple of days, they accepted to give me a quarter of that money, and me, I was happy because that money could be used to buy for me books. And then I go and start. When I reached to this institution of fisheries where I did this course that I'm about to share all the details to you, it was so hard for me because I could already think of my family, how they have abandoned me. I could sometimes think of why did God create me? I could have so many thoughts and I'm like, God, I wish I also pass on because I don't see my value. So many prayers were on my head, but later I said, no, God, give me a way to go. I could be in class and then teachers see tears rolling in my eyes. And then lecturers could be wondering, what's happening to this girl? You are a new girl, you're crying all the time. They reached an extent of asking me if I'm pregnant, but I was not pregnant. Just that the situation I was going through was so hard for me to understand as a young child, but with God, I managed it. So one of the lecturers asked me, what's the problem? I told him I was open. The situation was not easy, so he understood me and he told me, let's go to principal. So when I reached principal, I told her, I'm really willing to continue with this course, but I don't have support. My family has abandoned me. I have only 2 people at home. I have a sister and a brother. I lost my dad, I lost my mom. I don't have uncles, I don't have aunts who can support me in this area. So please do me a favor. So it was so hurting and touching to her. She really wanted to know much of details. So he asked me, then how did you come to write this course? Can we change for you the course because this course is hard? And then with your situation, will you really manage? I told them, please don't change me because I like engineering and I want to be an engineer and I want to be more than this you see now. So she was like, okay, from today, I'm making you a needed student. You'll be remaining at school when others go back to hostels because the lucky chance I had is that they had given me all those things on government, on scholarship. Hostel, food, I could get my portion bins well, and then I enjoyed. So she told me, when others go back to their hostels, for you remain behind, clean the hostel, clean the classes. Then in holidays, when others go, for you, your first week is to remain at school, cleaning, digging around school. And then I said, it is very fine for me. I'm ready to do that work. And then you give me education. So they accepted the conditions and I also accepted them. I managed to do my first year and completed it. This course is given 3 years diploma, but I was so lucky that after my first year, I joined a Rotary Club. I don't know in Nigeria if you have Rotary clubs. Yeah, I happened to join the Rotary Club. And in that Rotary Club, these students liked me so much. And then they made me a president of Rotaract Club. So when I became a president, I was so lucky that I could move in different Rotary fellowships. And one of the fellowship I went to, when I stood, because when you are a Rotaract and you reach in a Rotary Club, of the elders, you have to introduce yourself and what you study. So when I stood up and I introduced myself as Abenaitwe Caroline, doing a boat building technology and marine mechanics course at Fisheries Training Institute, Uganda, they were so shocked and they are like, in Uganda, we've never had a person doing that. And the lady, what do you do? So they invited me to give them a talk on what I studied. So I went to school, remember I was a new student, I didn't have so much knowledge, but I went and I talked to the principal, I talked to the dean of students, they gave me a chance to present. Then they gave me what to present. They gave me directives and directions of where to tackle. So I came back here to the Rotary Club, I presented to them. When I presented what I do, because I went with the models of the boat, with the small boats, then I presented and these people were so excited. So then they asked me about my family, and me, my worst time would always be when you ask me about my parents. I didn't want anyone to ask me about parents. So when they asked me, I just bursted into tears. I told them, at school, I'm doing the course, but I'm a leader student. So they were like, wow. Then I explained to them, they told me, no, don't worry about this. We shall support you. So when I sat with one of the Rotarians and I introduced him my problems and what I was going through, I could not get enough time to revise because I have to clean. When others are resting me, I have to think of coming to clean, and then I go to class. So these Rotarians were attached, and then they told me, go to principal and tell him to give you all what they demand you and what they would demand you even after this and the next year. So these Rotarians accepted to clear all those fundamental fees that I would be paying, and then to clear all what was necessary, the guild fees, the what, all those fees they cleared for me. So I managed to complete all my 3 years in my diploma. This one, I'll go to it later, because after this, I managed to achieve the diploma, but the diploma was not my dream. I wanted a degree. So after this diploma, I tried all around here and there to look for someone who could support me and do a degree in marine engineering, because that's what I wanted to do. After getting the knowledge of marine mechanics, I felt in love and too much love for marine things, for maritime field. I was like, no, this is where I should die. So I looked around my country to get someone who could support me and do marine engineering degree, and I have not yet got one. But I said, I'm not going to sit on myself with a diploma. So I opted to do a degree in public administration and management, though this is out of what I'm doing, but it can also help me in management activities. So I opted for this, that in case at my workplace, I get that promotion or I get upgrading, I can use this public administration, administrate others. And also it is helping me, like now that I can be able to present other people, I use this. So I opted for this, but if a chance comes and someone is supportive, I will also go for any related maritime course. There are so many, I will go for it for its degree and master's. So from there, from this diploma, from fisheries, I attained only the diploma in boat building and marine mechanics, and that's why I'm always called a marine mechanic and boat repair maintenance. So these other certifications that you're asking me about, I'm going to talk about them and explain them. So after my diploma, I went to look for jobs. And when I went to look for jobs, I happened to land to Uganda Civil Aviation, though it was not easy. And here I want to share something to the students. After completing year studies, I know most of the students always run to what I have studied. I want a job in what I have studied. I also wanted a job in boat building and marine mechanics immediately because I was seeing myself as the only girl who has done this. So I could see a lot of opportunities, but that did not work in the first time. And what did I do? In the first time, after completing this, I was unable to get the job because I tried to send my papers here and there. I know our African countries, you try to send here, they toss you, you go apply here, they toss you. And I also went through that experience. When I tried around and I failed, I said I will not give up. I decided to join an authority. It's an organization called Insurance. And then I joined a company called ICEA. That insurance is a life insurance. So I was an agent trying to sell insurance there and here all over. So I could walk by my feet because I didn't want to go home. I had studied and now I wanted to look for a job. So when the job of marine first delayed me, I said, I'm not going to sit home or I'm not going to get married because in my studies, by the what I didn't share, when I was studying, throughout my studies, I said to help with what they call a boyfriend. I said all the time I could listen to my brother and I could always even listen to what people were telling him that ladies are going to be pregnant, those girls are going to go out and get married, so leave them. So that thing could always stick in my mind and I'm like, no, I have to struggle harder and I reach the level I want. So I could always hate what they call boyfriend, that you be my friend at school and take my time and I don't concentrate. And being that the situation I was going through could always force me to focus on the work I'm doing and then come back to study because I didn't have time to share with other people. So what I did my course and completed it perfectly. And even up to now at school, they can award me for that. And even my lecturers and my principal can second me on that. So when I came to the field of insurance, remember this is now a different field on what I studied. And why do I tell you this? I'm sharing with you this is that you be free for whatever comes in your way after school. Don't be so rigid to what you have studied. You can do something and that something will lead you to the future of your life. So this is how I started with insurance and selling people here and there. And so many of them were asking me, you girl, you mean you didn't study? Why are you hawking insurance? Why are you a hawker? And then I could love answers, as you understand. So one day I was selling someone. When I was selling that person, he asked me a question. Caroline, you mean you didn't go to school? I was like, seriously, I went to school and this is what I studied because most of the times I could always walk with my backpack full of my tools to use and full of my overload and full of all the requirements that I wanted to use at workplace with the course I did. So when this man asked me, I presented my papers and then explained to him. So he was so shocked. And then he advised me, why can't you try Uganda Civil Aviation Authority? I replied him with one answer, I'm tired of those things. I've sent papers and I'm tired. So he advised me that one day wake up and go to airport, ask them what you would, show them what you studied, and then they will reply you. So that one day I walked up, I went to the main road, I waited for Uganda Civil Aviation buses, that is the buses that carry workers. I boarded one of the bus. They chased me out because I didn't know the department. They asked me, which department, young girl, are you working in? I didn't have answer, so they chased me out. So I was like, no, it seems God created me to suffer. Why should I stress myself with all this? They allow myself to suffer until I die. So I felt like going back home because I saw it was not working. So I tried to ring this man. I'm like, no, they have chased me. So I feel like it is of no use. Or let me wait for you. That day you take me. So this man told me, use the confidence you have in selling insurance, and then you sell yourself. So I said, okay. When the second bus came, there was a girl who was also standing there waiting for it, and he was like, yeah, you are also our staff? You're new staff? Which course, which department? And now in my heart, I had one thing. I said, instead of saying what I don't know, let me say what I know, because when they ask more questions, I'll be able to explain. So I answered, I work in Marines. I didn't even, but I just said I work in Marines. So he was like, Marine? You girl, you mean you know how to swim? It was like so scary to her to see a girl knowing how to swim. I said, yeah, I do. This I do. I know, even if you want, I can teach you. So she was like, okay. Now the bus came, and then we all boarded the bus, and then we left. When we reached the airport, I had nowhere to start from because I didn't know where to go. So one of the men tried to ask me, you guys look good, you look smart, can you give me a dress? And then I was like, yeah, I'm ready to give me the uniform. So he was ready to give me the uniform. And then I give, so he took me up to, and then I was like, you know, I'm looking for someone called the Reverend, and he's the head of Marine Department. And that man, they said he's the one who had Marine, and I did this and this. I applied online. I was even some things lying. And you know, in life, sometimes you need to lie when you want to achieve. So I said, please take me to him. I applied online and they called me. So I don't know where to start. So this man took me up to Reverend. And when I reached that Reverend, who was the head of Marine Department by then, but right now is the Chief Fire Officer of the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. So I tried to explain to him. And now what I want to teach my fellow students or my fellow sisters is that learn to be patient. In life, learn to be patient. This day, when I reached airport, if I wasn't patient, I would not be what you're seeing right now. I reached that airport at around 8, and this man was so busy to the extent that he could not get even a minute for me. But later in the evening, I reached at 8 in the morning, and then he attended to me at 4 in the evening because he was totally busy. He reached an extent of telling me, first close the door, and then I handle it because I'm too busy. And I could also see what he was doing. So when he asked me why I'm in his office, I was able to explain to him I'm looking for a job. And then he was like, who told you I give jobs? So I was like, no one told me you give jobs, but this is what I studied. And I hear you have Marine Department. And he was like, okay, let me have a look. Looking at my papers, he was so shocked. He could not believe that Carol, I can do what? I can do this work. When he looked at my papers, he said, you are Caroline, and you can do engine maintenance, you can do marine diving, you can do mechanics. I said, yes, I can do all this. He said, Carol, stop lying. He called one of the bosses in the HR department, and he was like, you know what? Caroline is here and he showed me this and this and this. How can we help her? Can you have a look on her papers? Because in my papers, in that course, we always do boat handling, we do engine maintenance and servicing, we do assembling and dismantling of the engine. So we do a variety of course units under one course. So I was like, yeah, I'm ready to meet them. So he called these people and then they sat. When they sat, they gave me an open interview there and then. He started asking me, explain what I know. So I started pulling out, and you know, I've told you, I've been moving with my tools. And actually, I advise you, fellow students, young girls, young boys, after you have completed school and you know you are an engineer, work with what shows that you're an engineer. You're not going to go to someone's office, you say, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, and yet you are dressed like someone who is going for dancing. You are dressed like office assistant. You're in a suit, and you want to show him that you're an engineer. If you're an engineer, go with your overall. when you're asking for your job, prove that me, I do engineering and this is my work. Go with your tools. Show someone. He may ask you if you're an engineer, can you please show me a spanner? And you don't know a spanner and you don't have a spanner. So you will start doubting you from the first day. So me, I had moved with all my toolbox. So reaching him, they were like, please show us what you know and confirm to us that these are your papers, because they could not believe that a girl could do that. And actually in Uganda, in Africa, actually, most of the people believe that girls cannot do those hard things. So I was like, I can prove myself practically. Please give me an engine and I sample you on what I do. And I proved up the tools and I was like, this is what we call a marine toolbox. And these are spanners, I try to explain each type of a tool that you know that is in a toolbox. So when I explained to them, they were all shocked. Then they told me, do you know how to swim? I told them, please, I'd like to do practical work, not theoretically. Let's go to water. So they took me to the lake and then they gave me a distance to swim. When I swam that distance and completed it, they were like, you know what? They just signed on my paper that this girl must be absorbed with immediate effect. So that's how I started my work that I'm doing right now. So when I started, and this is how I started, when I joined Uganda Civil Aviation, they gave me an opportunity to do what we call aircraft firefighting. Because when you're in Marine Department, it is always called aerodrome firefighting and marine rescue. So being that I work at airport, I was able to attain a certificate in aircraft firefighting, because in case of any fires on an aircraft, I should be able to fight fire. Even if it has ditched in water and it has caught fire, I should be able to fight it. And I also attained another course called open water lifesaver stroke diving. I came with a certificate of life saving, but that was not self-satisfied. I managed to get this, and they took me through diving course where I attained a five open water diving certificate. This certificate is always from UK. It's awarded from UK after going through this certificate. I did aircraft firefighting certificate, and I have a certificate from ICAO. And then I managed to also get a certificate from Malaysia Maritime Institute of Malaysia. This one, I managed to get it because I received the mail. The mail was sent to Uganda under Maritime Administration. But the unfortunate part was that none of the other people could qualify, but I managed to qualify because I was the only person who had potential to go for this. So after applying, I was accepted and I went for this course called Fostering Maritime Industry Management through Industrial Revolution 4.0, and I have that certificate with me. And I also did Best Life Support Certificate, that is first aid. So I managed to also do first aid in case on an aircraft, because right now I work on aircraft and then boats. If someone has ditched in a lake, because right now in Uganda we don't have ocean, we're a landlocked country, we look at lakes and rivers. So if someone has ditched in a lake and he needs first aid, I've managed to rescue that person. I've removed him from water with my diving skills, with my swimming skills. Then after putting him on land, what am I going to do? Am I going to leave that person to die, or I have to first give him or her that first aid? So I did that certificate to give first aid that casualty are picked from water. So after doing that, I went. These are some of the pictures, though there are many. I've not put everything, but I will try to share. Now, the main purpose of this, all what I've been saying is all about me. I've been sharing it because you can learn something from it, or someone else can copy or learn something from me. That's why I did a lot of gamble on that related area. So when I come to this motivation, the reason why Madam William called me, why should I motivate you? And why do I have to tell you all this? Because some people see it as wastage of time, is wasting our time. Why should you tell us this? One of the reasons why I should share with you this is that the journey of my career as a little girl, it wasn't easy. Yes, I know most of you may be having your parents, maybe having guardians, maybe having other people, or others may be like me. So if you are like me, should you lose hope? Should you kill yourself because your life seems to be complete at the first stage? So the reason why I shared with you my story of how I grew up is because I wanted you to see, even if life is so hard for you, you can still go through and achieve what you want to be. So the journey of my career started back as a little girl, like I told you, when I was watching that motorbike mechanic. I could always be picky on his things. When he picks a spanner, I'm like, what is that tool? How is it called? It is a spanner. Which spanner? Number this. So how do you use it? Then the next day, I'm like, can I also help you in nailing that nail? It's like, yes, you can. So I developed the idea from that side. I said, from my dream, I could always tell my brother I want to be an engineer, though I didn't know specifically which engineer I was going to be, but I could always pick that interest. So to the parents, if you pick an interest in a child and you see a child is somehow related to at some point, please try to take concern and watch his steps or her steps, or advice where necessary, or you can get someone who can advise that child. So from that curiosity of mechanic, I tried harder to look for where can I go, where can I achieve this, and that's why I managed to be a marine mechanic. I went on with studies. I did all the studies that were needed, and I managed to be a marine mechanic. But as a young girl, I always associate with hard tasks, and that's me. I advise you, my fellow ladies, stop being so lazy. You only want to be in office and be called the office assistant. That will take you nowhere. Maybe to be a housewife at home, but if you really want to be someone in the future, look for those things that you think they are so hard for you. If you try and fail, the next day you will not fail. But if you don't want to try today, and for you, you want to be like, it's easy. This is so hard for me, it's so hard. Please try to always look for that thing that will challenge you from the start and will also challenge others in the near future or in the next. Because in my life, I had that life of being like, I want to challenge boys. If boys can do this, why can't I also do it? So put in yourself something that I'm not a lady, I'm just a lady by name, and a lady maybe by creation of birth that I'm supposed to give birth. But otherwise, do what men can do. You can do it. So I wanted to go to, what do you need to be an engineer, or what do you need to be a mechanic? First and foremost, when you're in your primary, actually this should start with you from primary level. Look for your potential. Look for where you belong. Look at the subjects you pass well. And then now ask yourself, if I want to be an engineer and I'm passing history and I'm passing social science, yet an engineer, I must be with the mathematics. So what should I do? Try to look for those students who perform well in that field. Sit with them. I'm a girl who could always associate with boys more than I do with ladies. Even up to now, in my life, I associate with men more than I do with girls. Why? Whenever I could sit with girls, most of the stories would be, my mom will do this, my dad. And remember, me as a person, I didn't have anyone to cry to. So I could always feel like, their stories are not good for me. And when I sit with boys, they're always in calculation, planning to what the future would be. They want to do, they want to do this. So I could always feel like, I should go with this mind, not the other one. So in my school, I could always concentrate with the first student. If I say you win me in mathematics, I will look for you and befriend you. So wherever you sit is where I will sit. When we are in class, after class, I kind of beg you discussion. When I get something, someone has visited me, has given me some eats, I will at least bribe you by giving me my eats so that you can help me in my field where I fail. So as you, whose your dream is favorably looking for male domain fields or jobs, please put much emphasis in science subjects. These science subjects will lead you to whatever you want. But if you concentrate much more on arts, you will be in those things called ladies' things. You'll be doing only ladies' work. Yes, I know there are other men who also do this, but for us, we are looking, how can we ladies go to that higher level of being in male domain field? So you have to concentrate on physics, you have to concentrate on chemistry, you have to concentrate on mathematics, you have to concentrate on biology, you have to concentrate on English language for those who are English-speaking countries. And then on French, you have also to concentrate on French, because now, why do I talk of language? When you don't know language, it is always so hard. You're going to speak your home country language and someone will not understand. So it will not give, you may be having your skills, you have your knowledge, but you've traveled somewhere, the country has called you to go and participate, but you cannot speak the language. So they won't be able to be with you. So you have to concentrate on that language so that if you have your skills, they can be supported with language. And then to be a marine mechanic, why do I say all the science courses? Because there is marine insurance, you need to do that. There is marine biology, there are those people who are doing aquaculture and fisheries. So if you are doing aquaculture and fisheries and you only have mathematics and physics, it means it will not work. You need biology in this, you need chemistry in this. So don't only concentrate on mathematics and physics because you want to be an engineer, but you may be wanting to be an engineer, yet God prepared you to be a doctor, yet God prepared you to be a fisheries officer, aquaculture officer. So if you have to be that, you have to be knowing biology and chemistry. So please, from primary level, set your target. If you say you're a bit weak, please change. From senior 1, senior 2, it is a starting area. If you start when you see that mathematics is hard, look for those people. If you have your parent and you have a chance, request for coaching. Go for those coachings and you manage to change your pass mark or your pass. So I know so many ladies have that belief that sciences are so difficult and therefore they are for men. That is a myth, my dear. Sciences are never difficult, maybe if you are not in mind. Sciences are so easy if you concentrate and give them time. If you concentrate and put in much emphasis on what you want to be, I promise you, you will perceive and you will get it. If I had not concentrated so much, looking at my life, looking at my background, I'm the person to give myself food and the person to give myself a cloth. So I would concentrate much on someone giving me free things and I forget to study. But because I concentrated much on what would the future tell and what would it be, that's why I gave myself time to concentrate on books. Dear ladies, dear girls, stop free things. I know African continent, we have that one problem. We are looking at whites. We are looking at being that rich in the first step, but you forget that even those people who are rich pass through steps. So please, young ladies who are running old men, married men, because you want them to give you free things, my dear sister, you will die when you've not reached at what you want to be. So please concentrate. Look at yourself as the only person who is not sick. Look at every person to be a sick person. And that's what helped me. Me, when I was growing up, I could always see myself as the only person who is not sick. Whoever could come, because I know as a lady, we got so many challenges. Personally, I passed through them. There are so many men who could come to my side, pretending, even others could pretend that they're my uncles, others could pretend to school that they know me, yet they didn't know me. So please, personally, I went through so many things. I didn't share some of the things, but when I was at school, I could cook eggs. If you know boiled eggs, I could boil eggs and I served my fellow students to get money, but I could reject some free money from someone. I could other things.
You don't disturb anybody.
Hello.
What rubbish?
Hello.
It has started.
Hello.
It's 1 between.
Are you hearing me, members?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, why do I do all this a lot of wordings? I'm doing this because I've told you, I'm just 26 years old. I'm making 27 years in December until December. It's my birthday. But I've gone through so many challenges.
Kilo day.
Please, it's a lot of noise.
No.
It's a lot of noise.
Bring your plate or something.
I want to be taking it one. What do you
You can't take it one. Cut it into two. Confunity. Tony Shele Mamaja. Oh, Bono.
I'm going through a lot of noise.
Dr. Odushola, the doctor should offer a mic. Abba.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I was
Yes,
saying,
ma'am.
why do I give you a lot of this wording? I'm sharing with you this because I've gone through it and I know what it means as a lady. And mostly when you're the main field, when you reach at work, first and foremost, these gentlemen will look at you as someone who cannot manage. They look at you as someone who is so weak because they always see us as gender weak.
Let me 1 minute. You know when I said that if
buy it here, buy a new phone. When you go buy a new phone, Tori ko ni respect.
What
Kill
can
on
we
share
do?
no.
Should we continue?
Kill on count. Oh, my pemo wani meeting on party won kakiri on lulu. Adejo won last week ini.
Yes, ma'am. Continue.
So what I was
Please, what is happening here? What is happening? Who is that person speaking? Why the meeting is going on?
When we are in this field of male domain,
Terrible.
one, it's not easy because as a young girl, you may be looking fresh, clean, beautiful. These men will always want to use you in the first step. And I advise you seriously and strongly on this point. When you reach at work or when you're at school, try as much as possible, avoid lecturers from dating you. One, avoid workmates from dating you because that will make you feel inferior or feel shy when you're at work. But when you find yourself like, all the workmates are like your brothers, it will be so easy for you. You do your work perfectly because they will always support you here and there. When you're at school and you reject all lecturers or teachers from dating you, it will become so easy. And actually the news, because me personally, I went through that challenge when I was still at school. In my A level, I went to school and a certain teacher wanted to be with me like a girlfriend. And this forced me to run away from a school. And I could not tell my parents, my brother, why I didn't want the school. But because of what I was going through, I used all the tricks to explain to him that this school is not favoring me, I'm not getting everything, and I decided to run away. So why do I tell you to run away from the schools that don't give you favor for what you want to be in future? If there is a teacher who is disturbing you at school, look for the means of explaining to your parents and you quit that school. If you stay with that teacher managed to achieve what he wanted and is now a teacher teaching, he is earning. But for you, you're nothing. That teacher is going to use you. That teacher is going to give you pregnancy or do any other thing or sickness, and he will dump you there. And that will be the end of your life. So please, my dear sisters, my dear girls, mind about what you want to be in future. It will lead your way and it will lead your path. And please know that there is nothing that comes easy or on a silver plate as a girl child. So that's why I'm telling you, avoid free things. Those people who tend to give you free things, they are not free things. My dear, you're paying your life for those free things. And please, try as much as possible. Avoid, I know there is sexual harassment in that field. I know there is so many crooked things that go through, but try as much as possible to penetrate through by yourself, or if possible, get someone who can discuss with you or who can give you counseling and manage. There are so many challenges. I wrote this few, but I know there are so many there. So my dear sisters, try. I tell you, try. And then I want to go back to what are the prospects? What do you expect to achieve from marine mechanics, or as in a marine lady, or as an aircraft firefighter, or as an engineer? There are so many things. One, yes, you can be a marine mechanic after doing the courses above that I have shown. You can be a skilled aircraft firefighter, and you be like a consultant. Everyone consults you to give them. You look at yourself as a lady and you look at yourself as a weak person, but you never know, other people will see you as a big person. So please quote that. And then as a female mechanic, to me as a person, I've got so many opportunities. Personally, I've traveled over 4 countries now because of what I am. I'm representing Uganda as a country. I'm representing myself as a person. And right now, actually, I'm representing you, Nigerian people. I'm a Ugandan. So this is an opportunity. So even you fight for that. The next time, it shouldn't be Carol. It should be me. You put yourself in my name. It should be you to be called in Uganda. Come and show you. I have so many ladies I've been seeing. There is this Elizabeth Milani of Kenya. I have Mokose. I learned so many things on these ladies. And I'm now a member of Women in Maritime, African continent. I always feel like this is a great opportunity for me. So as a mechanic, as an engineer, you have so many opportunities in this field of maritime. If you are in maritime field, you have so many opportunities, and I'm sure you'll be successful if you concentrate. I was looking at what are the schools that we can go through around the globe if you want to attain all this, if you want to be what you want to be, because I'm not sure what you want to be, but I know you know better than I do. In Uganda, we have Uganda Fisheries Training Institute. That's where I did this course. And there, I know there are so many schools in Nigeria because I'm already connected to one friend of a Nigerian person who was also telling me he's soon, maybe I will be discussing with Madam Williams, is soon introducing scholarships for maritime courses, all maritime related courses, that is marine engineering, nautical science, marine mechanics. So all of them, you are sending me a number of schools. I will also share to her. She can also share to your platforms on mails. And if it goes through, I will still inform her. She can let you know some of the members. I know there are others who may be going through challenges like I do, but there are those who can afford. There is what we call Lady International School in US. It also teaches all the maritime related fields. On this, I didn't want to limit you on courses that you should go and do mechanics like I did. There are so many maritime courses. So I wanted you to be open-minded. The reason why I gave you school areas to study sciences is that I want to open your eyes. When you have those good grades in those fields, you are able to do very good courses in maritime area. And maritime is a virgin field for so many African countries. If you come up in maritime field, you know that you're on the right track. Your past is already created. So I was looking at also New England Institute of Technology. Then there is Kenya Maritime Institution, there is Maritime Institute of Malaysia. There are so many schools. I could not list every school here. I just sampled you with that, but I know you are good at Google. You can Google all these schools and you can go into details and you get more details of these schools. So I didn't want to take a lot of your time. Then these accreditations are just, this slide has jumped. It was supposed to be up. These are the institutions where I got the certificates from, as you can see. And then I'm looking at, but most of the advices I've shared with you. Haven't I shared a lot? Maybe with this that I managed to type is that please, my dear girls, my dear sisters, take care of your life. Your life values more than you think. You're even greater than your parent that you may see that is more big, but you are more bigger than that parent you have. So your life should be number one in everything you do. Have passion and love for what you want to be. When I came to notes about marine mechanics and boat building, I had too much passion and I'm doing it lovely. I can assure you right now, I work with over 60 men, my workmates, but I have no conflict. I have no grudge. I have nothing with all these people I work with. They are all my brothers. They are all my dads. They are all my uncles. I can tell you, if you have love and passion, and then you quote that thing, I should not fall in love or relationship with this team, you will see your success in your hands always, because they always do all what it takes to support you. They will not fear anyone, but if you date one of them, others will be fearing you. They will be like, that is a wife to someone. That is someone who would give you knowledge, you will always fear. But if you give them time and you befriend all of them, it becomes kawa on your side. Then I always looked at this, discern the negative voices of gender disparity. You people, I want to advise you this. Always look at negativity as a negative. If you know some little mathematics, look at it as negative. If someone comes and tells you, hey, Banange, diving is so hard. You girl, you can't manage diving. You die in water. Just let it go. Let it pass. You can't do mechanics with your hands, with your fingers, to touch in oil. Ignore that negativity. Hear and let it pass. Or sometimes if that person comes to you and he tells you, so you are like, I'm used to those words. But now I'm okay. And that's what I went through. When I was doing this course, it involves welding, as I told you, carpentry. So everyone could tell me carpenter, but that was easy for me. It was very fun. You tell me carpenter, but right now, all those people who use it to tell me carpenter, they are none of them can compete with me in life. So I tell you, always look at yourself as the first person. Ignore negativity of all those words. And then focus on your career. If you focus on what you want to be, I said this from the first step. If you focus, you know from your child you want this. And then you start moving, step 1, step 2. Now, a senior 1 student, a senior 2 student, I expect you to be knowing what you want to be in future. Actually, from me these days, I always ask my sisters and my brother's kids. I haven't got one, but I hope to get one soon. I always ask these kids, what do you want to be? And now I want to streamline them. Focus on what you want your career to be. Senior 1, senior 2, set your goals. I've joined secondary. Now I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a mechanic. I want to be an aircraft pilot. Focus on it and try now look for what do I need. Please try to use your phones for value. I know most of you have phones. I know most of you have pads. You have laptops. Use your laptop, not for Facebook, not for WhatsApp only. Instagram. Use your phones to do for you something you want to be in future. Me as a person, I've already asked Madam Williams. I just got her from Facebook. Why do I go to Facebook? May I go looking for people of value? I go searching for someone who can lead me somewhere. I looked at her. Whenever I go to Facebook, I first view your data. When I go into your details and I read through what you do, what you post, and I say, I ignore you. Even if you send me a friend request, I just ignore you. And then I go to another one and I look. Then if I go to Google, I start searching, what do I want? All these other related courses, I did them as a person. I could always request, look for that person who knows them. And then I'd ask them, how can I achieve this? So use your phones to take you somewhere. Don't use your phones for dating areas. Don't use your phones for pornography and what. Use your phones to get what you want to be, to get your career. And then I also advise you, take opportunity that comes, every opportunity that comes on your way, but leave negative opportunities, take positive opportunities. If an opportunity comes on your way, as I've said, you've graduated, you have your certificate, but you have not yet got what you studied, first go with that, it will lead you to what you want. Then I look at also personal integrity and respect for others. Like as I've said, respect others, they will also respect you and you will respect yourself. So if you do all that, I know you will achieve. And I take the conclusion by saying you really don't have to be complete. You really don't have to be big to complete bigger tasks. That's what I can say. But you are like, but likewise, you don't have to be a male take masculine. You are masculine enough in super feminine gender, my fellow ladies. We don't have to be fat. Yeah, I'm too small, I'm too weak, but we can do this. We don't have to be so beautiful to reach that higher level. You don't have to be all that words you think. You can really manage this. I don't know if I can share with you one video of what I do. Maybe, let me first see if I can be able to share with you one video of what I do. Let me see. Let's see, I want to share with you some small video. Okay. Oh, what has happened? My screen has failed to share. I'm trying to share with you one of the videos. I don't know how we can do it. It has failed to share. Are you able? Are you able to view this video? That was it. Are you able to view that video? Hello,
Hello, we can hear you.
were you able to view that video?
No,
Oh, it seems now it has refused to share. I tried to make it in a slide, it refused to go, and now it has even refused. Hope maybe what I've shared will do something to you or will help you somewhere, somehow. If possible, I'll try to see how I can share the videos with Madam Williams, and then she will share to your either mails because it has refused to share here.
okay, ma. Thank you, ma.
All right. Thank you so much for listening to me. I now accept any question, or Madam Williams can direct us for the way forward. Hello.
Hi.
Try it.
Sorry, ma. Do you have any technical issues from your end?
From my side,
I'm trying to find out why you can't share your video yet.
I don't know.
Okay, can you just start the process again? It should go through now.
Okay.
Okay, you can try it now.
No, no. Can I send to you and then you try to share?
Okay. Okay.
So let me send to you. Hope you have received. Is everyone viewing that? Hello, members.
I just shared one.
I've sent, there is a long video which is coming.
Okay, there's a longer one.
There's another one which is coming. That was a clip of diving. That is a clip of diving. So it has to go in bits because if it is a long video, you can't send it through the phone. That's why I wanted to use a PC dialect and it refused. Thank you, members. That is my clip of diving. We are trying to do some trainings with some other guy. So it couldn't come like the whole video because it's a long video. It has to come in bits. And then another one that I'm trying to share, it is taking long. I don't know why, because it is also long. Anyway, as we are waiting for the video, maybe the host can give us the way forward if we can be receiving questions as the videos are coming. You can be receiving questions and then I see how to answer. If there is any. Yeah, I've seen here a question. What is your specification as a diver? What do you do underwater specifically? Underwater, my specification is I do rescue of personnel. As I've told you, I work with Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. This is an authority that is taking over aircrafts, landing and taking off. So me, I'm positioned in a place where the aircraft comes as it is going to land. So we are always there for emergency in case of any ditching of an aircraft, and to take cover of rescue of personnel who could be down underground, or any other person like these fisheries people who do fishing around. In case of any ditching or any accident, we are supposed to take an emergency position and we do the recovery of these casualties. That's what I can answer. I don't know if I've answered your question well, or you still need more clarification. Any other question? I've seen one message on chat. Okay.
There are questions. There are questions.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen. Did you ever reconcile with your family? Yes, of course, we did, because after the first year, when they came to realize it was true, I was not lying to them, because I went home and I showed my brother all the documentations I had. So he was able to forgive me and was so happy for me, because he could believe. And right now he's the happiest, because I'm moving mountains and mountains. Yeah, we are very fine. Then another question is, you are a rescuer. How many people? How many people have you? Let me see where. You are a rescuer. How many people have you rescued from the start? From the start to this period? Thank you for this question. Happy now. I'm so grateful, because as emergency people, we don't actually pray for the things to happen. You can't pray for an accident to happen. I did share with you, I'm new to this job. I've not spent so many years. I was so far spent only 3 years in this field. And lucky enough that for the 3 years I've spent, I'm in my 3rd year now. For the 2 first years I've completed, we have not yet got an accident, but I'm always ready. We always get emergencies, we be on standby, but we have not got any experience of this accident, but I'm ready for any that comes. Are you the only female in your workplace? Yes, I'm the only female there, but recently, due to my videos, exposure, and people have managed to see that even ladies can come to this field. So we have so far received one girl who is now my workmate. So we are looking forward to train her in all the fields, and she also becomes one, though she's not a mechanic like me, she's not with the qualifications I do have above, but we are going to train her in these other fields that I trained to in also. And I've seen another 4th question is that, have you ever faced any kind of molestation, or have you oh, okay. Now, as I've said, I'm a female, and I have I'm a female, and I don't think I look so bad to these males. Yeah, they have ever picked interest. That personal, as I've told you, I bracketed myself. I tried to put some brackets on myself. I said, no, all these workmates should be brothers. So I rejected that, and I don't think that I've fallen in for anyone. We are living as brothers at workplace. That's what I can say. Hope I've answered you. Is this one? Solomon, I hope I've answered your question. Any other question? Any other question, members?
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello, can you hear me, Caroline?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there is a question here.
Yes.
That because you're in a male-dominated career, have you been molested by the opposite sex before at work? And
I'm trying to answer that one. I said yes, because as a female, you can't fail to go through all those challenges, but it is you, how you sit and set up your goals, what you want. Because me as a person, I said, all these are going to be my brothers. If I get one, I'll be in troubles with getting knowledge from other people who are more experienced than me. So I tried to limit myself in related manners and try to befriend them as a sister, all of them. And I'm really free with each and every workmate I do work with.
okay, there's a question here. You see, we have a WhatsApp group. So
Yes.
from the WhatsApp group, someone said, so you can build a boat.
I'm competent in building a boat, but fiber reinforcement boat and wood. Metals, I didn't have training on those, but hopefully when I continue with my education, I'll be able to do all those. But I got a chance, I traveled to Dubai to assist boat constructors, and they were so shocked that a lady and an African can really even share more advice with what they didn't know. Because I reached there, Uganda Civil Aviation was purchasing a boat, a firefighting boat, and I was one of the committee that went there. So when I reached there and I tried to ask some of the questions, some of the materials they used, and I even went into the touch and explained, and because all the models they were using, I knew all of them, all types of models. When I explained this, people were like, oh, really? An African lady? Where did you get that knowledge? So it was a shock to them. I can confirm that fiber reinforcement boats, I'm able to construct them and even do the repairs of them, and then wood boats, but metals and other materials, not yet.
Then there's one more question here.
Yes.
She said, what is the difference between a rescuer and a diver?
A rescuer is a person responsible for taking a casualty from the lake, and you keep yourself safe, because the rescue is responsible for two people, your casualty and your life as a person. They have to take control of two people, yourself and that person you are rescuing. So, and you are supposed to rescue someone who is still alive, not a dead body. But if it's already gone, you can also rescue that dead body. And the diver, anyone can do diving. So many people take it for, if he jumps from like a higher level down to the lake, it calls himself a diver. A diver is a person who has gone through training and who can go beyond 30 meters down in the sea or in the lake. And he or she can go and at least pick something or do some work under sea for some good period of time. But someone who does diving for like in a swimming pool and it goes down for like 30 minutes, that is not maybe I may call him a qualified diver, but a diver is a person who can use respective equipment to go underwater and do some activities and then come back when he's still alive.
I want to ask a personal question.
Yes.
You said Uganda is landlocked.
Yes.
So how do you intend to grow your maritime activities? Because, you know, it's all going to be inland waterways. It's going to be more of ferries, lakes. How do you intend to expand the coasts? Because even landlocked areas like Rwanda now, you know what Rwanda is doing? Even though landlocked, has built a very strong land port where they'll be in between countries that are landlocked to come and collect their goods. How do you intend to do that?
As Uganda being a landlocked, we already have a board of maritime administration that is taking care of all maritime related fields. Personally, I'm not yet to that level. So most of the work they're doing that side, I'm not sure about it, but I'm trying my level best as someone who has moved, as someone who has some little knowledge about this field, also share with them, because at first Uganda has been not looking at maritime as something which is of value, but it's fortunate enough that these years and of recent, they are waking up. President himself is now too much in maritime. I think he has also observed what is happening in other countries. So I think he's now doing his great work to see how he can improve maritime of Uganda. So it is not yet to the standard, I can't lie on that. But I'm sure in the next few years to come, we shall be somewhere, because being with Lake Victoria as the biggest lake in the East African countries and the source of the Nile, so they are also seeing it as a great achievement for Uganda. Hopefully they are planning to do something better. No, I'm not yet to that level, but I'm trying my best to see that I can share some knowledge of what I know. Yeah.
So like you rightly said, for them to go into all these careers, they have to be science students.
Yes.
I'm only reiterating what you said, because we've had seafarers to talk to the students. We've had the first female tugboat pilot to talk to the students, and all they've been saying has been science students. And you too, you've now come to confirm that it is only science and science only. It's only when they want to become marine insurer, a maritime lawyer, that they can go into the arts.
Yeah, to me, with the little experience I have in this field now, I've come to realize when you're doing these courses, now like taking an example of what I did, marine mechanics, you find that some of the courses they are giving you mathematics, engineering mathematics, they are giving you boat survey. And when you find all the things they are doing, they're related to mathematics, physics, and biology. So it is so hard for someone who has gone with history to go and do marine engineering mathematics and then pass it well. So it will be so challenging. That's why I advise, if you really see that your career is in maritime field, most of the things which are in maritime or in any other related engineering courses, their line is mostly on sciences. And I emphasize that, do sciences if you want to be in the line of, I don't know even how to term it. If you want to be where you want to be, maybe if you want to be a politician,
It's been a wonderful day having you.
Thank you.
Caroline, all the way from Western Uganda, you've really made our day. You've made my own day in particular.
Thank you so much.
We really thank you for your wealth of knowledge that you've imparted, your word of advice for the students, and even their teachers. They're on the platform. They'll be able to guide them aright. Without saying so much, I need to tell you that we really appreciate you for being a very good guide, because you've actually touched on salient points. Nothing has been left untouched. They must not collect free things, because free things will lead to compromise and it will be a distraction.
True.
And they should look out for where their potential lies. Once you identify your potentials, you leverage on it, you capitalize on it. And of course, above all, God is ultimate, because you've always stressed that you were always praying for God to lead you aright. And it has really saved you and guided you thus far. On behalf of the students, the teachers, the school owners, and everybody on the platform, we say a very big thank you to you. And we pray that as you advance in your career, the good Lord will see you through. He will make everything easy, because he says that he will go ahead of you and make all crooked ways straight. That will be your portion. As you are now undergoing other courses, God will make it simpler for you. So that, like you wrote in your Facebook account, that you want to be a pride to your community and to your nation, that will be granted unto you.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Caroline. We really appreciate you.
Thank
And
you. No.
on this note, we have to say